All right, welcome to The Explainer. Today we're going to unpack the real story behind California's weather. And trust me, it is so much more than just sunshine and palm trees. So, when you think of California, what comes to mind? Perfect weather, right? Always 75 degrees and sunny. Well, you might be surprised to hear that some data actually backs that up. Kind of. There was this one major study called the Camelot Climate Index that did a super deep dive. It looked at hundreds of places all across the country and ranked them on everything. We're talking ideal temperatures, sunshine, how many rainy days, freezing days, the whole deal. And what they found is pretty wild. Check this out. The index found that the top 5, not 1, not 2, but all 5 of the most ideal climates in the entire country are right there in California. The state just completely sweeps the leaderboard. So that settles it, right? Case closed. California has the best weather. End of story. Well, not so fast. It really makes you wonder, doesn't it? Does this pretty picture of a few coastal cities tell the whole story for a state this massive? Okay, so let's start digging in. The first big clue that there's way more going on is just how dramatically the weather can change over, shockingly short distances, especially once you start moving away from the ocean. Let's look at the Bay Area. In the middle of summer, San Francisco is all cool and comfortable, wrapped in a nice 68-degree day. But then you hop in your car and drive just 20 miles inland to a place like Walnut Creek, and boom, the temperature just skyrockets. Yeah, that's a 16-degree jump. Just think about that for a second. The temperature goes up almost a full degree for every single mile you drive east. It's an absolutely staggering difference that you can feel in like half an hour. And it gets even crazier down in Southern California. On the coast, you've got Santa Monica enjoying a perfect 75-degree day. But you head just 10 miles inland to Burbank, and bam, you're suddenly smacked with 95-degree heat. That's a 2-degree jump for every mile. Unbelievable. So, okay, we've got these little pockets of different weather, but it goes way deeper than that. California is also a land of extremes. I mean, some of the most intense, most unbelievable temperature records ever set anywhere on Earth. Let's start with the heat. Deep in the eastern desert, you'll find Death Valley. And it's not just, hot. It holds the official, undisputed world record for the highest air temperature ever reliably measured on the planet, a blistering 134 degrees Fahrenheit. But in that exact same state, you go up into the Sierra Nevada mountains, and the town of Boca recorded a mind-numbing low of minus 45 degrees Fahrenheit. It's hard to wrap your head around the fact that these two places are even in the same state. So you've got the hottest place on Earth, and then you've got deep Arctic-level cold. That's a total temperature range of 179 degrees, all contained within the borders of one single state. It's just, wow. Okay, so we've talked temperature, but what about that famous California sun? Well, just like everything else we're seeing, the story of its sky is one of crazy contrasts. It is definitely not all clear blue skies. And you might be surprised to find out where the sunniest spots actually are. It's the inland cities like Sacramento and Fresno that get absolutely blasted with sunshine. They rank among the sunniest places in the whole country, even beating out famously sunny spots like San Diego. But here's the twist. That same sun-baked Central Valley, in the winter, it experiences something completely different, and frankly, pretty dangerous. The infamous Tule fog. And let me tell you, this is not your average morning mist. This stuff is a different beast. It's incredibly dense and can drop visibility down to basically zero in an instant. It's the #1 cause of weather-related car accidents in the region, and it can lead to these massive, tragic pileups. There was one back in 2007 that involved over 100 vehicles. It's seriously scary. So we've got extreme heat, extreme cold, tons of sun, and then this super dense fog. But wait, there's more. California's unique geography also manages to cook up some truly wild, truly rare weather events that you just don't see in many other places. One of the most dramatic and, let's be honest, terrifying is the fire whirl. And yeah, it is exactly what it sounds like. It's a tornado made of fire. It's born from the intense rising heat of a massive wildfire. Take the 2018 car fire. They recorded a fire whirl with wind speeds over 143 miles per hour. It was so powerful, it was actually rated on the official tornado intensity scale as an EF3. That's a rating usually reserved for seriously destructive, normal tornadoes.
So all of this just leads to the big question, right? Why? What is it about this one state that creates this incredible, almost unbelievable variety of weather? How can you have fire, tornadoes, and record-breaking cold in the very same place that also claims to have the most ideal climate?
Well, the answer really comes down to its one-of-a-kind geography. It's like the perfect recipe with all these different ingredients. You've got a long Pacific coastline acting like a natural air conditioner. Then you have these towering mountain ranges that act like a giant wall, blocking all that cool, moist air from getting any further inland. And what does that leave you with? These vast, flat valleys that just bake in the sun, sitting right next to some of the hottest, driest deserts on the planet. So, when you really get down to it, thinking about California weather as just one thing, you're missing the whole story. The simple truth is, California doesn't have a climate, it has climates, lots of them. So, I'll leave you with this to think about. From the kinds of crops they can grow in the Central Valley, to the totally different lifestyles of people living on the coast versus just a few miles inland. How is the very identity of the Golden State shaped, not by one single perfect climate, but by this constant, fascinating, and sometimes dangerous dance between all of these extremes?